What is up, college lacrosse fans? This is a special episode of the LaxFactor lacrosse podcast. I wanted to go in and first warn you, though, this is not safe for work. This is not safe for your children. I am going to say Maryland got fucked literally like 15 or 30 times in this video, so be warned, but let's get into this. The LaxFactor podcast. All right, so Maryland got fucked. We know this. It was the call at the end of this Maryland-Virginia game was one of the worst calls I have ever seen, especially in a playoff game. I actually have had this happen to me as a lacrosse coach. We had a goal. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. Ball was on the back of the net. The official called it a goal. Our goalie's pleading with him. He actually had to pick the ball up off the back of the net. The official did and still called it a goal. So first, I want to say hats off to Tillman for not losing his shit completely. I understand he had no choice. He had to keep his composure. Had he lost his shit, they get a penalty. Virginia wins the game in regulation, most likely. So, but regardless, it would have been very difficult to restrain yourself. He did. His team did. So, hats off to Tillman and Maryland for that. And it had to sting losing in this manner. I don't want to take anything away from the Maryland fans. This would have been a terrible way to lose a game overall. But I want to posit that with the official didn't cost Maryland the game. The official didn't fuck Maryland out of winning this lacrosse game. Maryland fucked Maryland out of winning this lacrosse game. Maryland had a 12-7 lead with under 8 minutes left. I want to say Maryland had a 12-7 lead with just over 4 minutes left. Virginia scores, gets within 4. There was 3 minutes and change on the clock. Maryland had a 4-goal lead still. As a coach, you have a 4-goal lead with 3 minutes left on the clock. You are feeling pretty damn good. And then Maryland, with 5 and change left on the clock, is the team that decided to burn the shot clock and roll the ball into the corner. So the very same, last week, the shot clock and their strategy helped them win the game. This week, the shot clock and their strategy helped them lose this game. So Maryland fucked Maryland. Yes, the official made a terrible call. Yes, the timing of that call was hugely unfortunate. But Jared Bernhardt's uncalled crease dive, a quarter of his foot was on the crease. It should have been a pretty easy crease call for an official to make. That resulted in a goal for Maryland that should not have been allowed earlier in the game. And then you can talk about the offsides that resulted in Virginia's goal also after that. But that happens a lot more than you think. That is a very tough call to get at this level with the speed that they play with. There's a lot more offsides calls that get blown than you even know in the sport of lacrosse, especially at the D1 level. So, those were both unfortunate, and you can make the argument they evened each other out, or you can make the argument, hey, Maryland lost the bad goal score 2-1 or something like that. But the reality is Maryland had a chance to win this game. They did everything in their power to screw this up, and then the official helped them a little bit at the end. But then the other part of this is if they had not allowed that goal, if they had huddled, called the goal off, Maryland doesn't win this game. A lot of people are talking about this as if this goal wasn't called, Maryland wins this game. Not necessarily. Dolan had barely made a save in this quarter. Virginia took 7 shots over that fourth quarter. 4 of them actually went in. 5 of them were credited as goals. There was not a great chance that Dolan was going to make this save the way this game had gone down the stretch. Virginia probably most likely ties this game up regardless of whether or not they call that a goal because they had all the momentum and they're freaking savages. So I'm kind of tired of hearing I understand Maryland fans' anger. I would be angry too. It's just a fact. I don't understand, though, pretending that the game would have been won by your team had this not happened. Your team blew a 12-7 lead. I know Tillman's thinking of it this way. They blew a 12-7 lead to a really good lacrosse team. And yes, a call at the end, a very bad timed, unfortunate call at the end, contributed to them losing this game, but that's the key word. That call contributed to Maryland losing this game. Nobody feels worse about this than the Maryland fans and players and coaches, I know, except that official. That official feels worse than all of you because it was his call that seemingly has caused all of this. But you don't put yourself, that's one thing as a coach you try to preach to your kids. You don't put yourself in a position where a single bad call could lose the game for you. And if you put yourself in that position, that's your bad because officials are going to have these moments. And I know it was brutal, but Maryland did not get fucked by this official. Maryland fucked themselves by putting themselves in the position to let the official fuck them, so on and so forth. So thank you for listening along. It was terrible. You can get yourself a got fucked t-shirt by going to laxfactor.com/Maryland, laxfactor.com/Maryland, and get yourself a got fucked t-shirt. I will also put up a non-offensive one, so we'll put one up that says like got gypped or something like that for the people who aren't into wearing shirts that have the F word on it. But as always, thank you for listening. We're going to put highlights of the Loyola Penn State game and what's the other game today? Whatever the other game is today, we'll put highlights up for those later today, and then we will do our Monday recap show recapping all 4 games from this weekend. As always, thank you for watching and enjoy.